Listen, I've said this multiple times now, but Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs could run away with the #1 recruiting class in 2024. They are the hottest team in the country on the recruiting trail right now. They already have 26 commitments, and we're only a third of the way through the month of July. What they're doing is absolutely crazy, and they still have multiple five-star targets still on the board with multiple, five-stars still looking hard at Georgia, and I think that they are not done as far as five-star prospects go. Since mid-May, when Dylan Raiola jumped on board, we told y'all that the dominoes are going to fall in a big way, and that's exactly what has happened. They've added 14 commitments since May 15th, since Dylan Raiola has jumped on board. They're just killing teams on the recruiting trail right now. I've been saying that they're going to end up in the #1 class, and if they keep this up and land these next few guys I'm going to talk about, it's going to be a clear #1 and without a doubt one of the best recruiting classes in college football history. So they're at 26 right now, still several months to go before signing day. So who are Georgia's top remaining targets and where does Georgia sit with those targets? That's what I'm going to be talking about in this video right now. Let's start on offense, right? Because I think they're just about done there. They've got their two quarterbacks, Dylan Raiola, Ryan Puglisi. They've got 6 offensive line commits. They want to take at least 5 every year. They took 6 in 2020. That might be the greatest offensive line class that Georgia's ever had. And it looks like they're going to take all 6, in this current 2024 class. They've got 2 tight ends. They've got 2 running backs, but I will say this. If Nate Frazier, one of the top running backs in the country, borderline 5-star, I think On3 has him as a 5-star. He's at a modern-day high school in California. If he wants to jump on board, Georgia's going to make room for him. I'm not saying that Georgia leads for this kid. I think they still have to, get past Oregon, USC, Alabama, but they are right there in the mix. He was in Athens for an unofficial visit in June, and I think he's going to make a decision in the fall. He told me he's going to come back for a game and might take his official visit then. So we'll see, where things go right there. I do think Georgia would absolutely take him in a hurry. So he's one player on offense to keep an eye on. They have 3 wide receiver commitments. I know Brian McClendon would like to add one more, but I don't know of any wide receiver trending Georgia's way. I think Ryan Wingo is trending elsewhere. I think Amari Jefferson, who I thought was trending towards Georgia maybe 4 weeks ago, I think might be trending elsewhere right now. We'll see if someone else jumps on the board and they go hard after someone. But right now, I think offensively, there's room for one more running back, Nate Frazier, if they want him, or if he wants Georgia, and one more wide receiver. So offensively, they're just about set. Defensively, there's still multiple targets out there, of course. Let's talk about KJ Bolden, right? 5-star safety, athlete, whatever you want to call him, out of Buford, top 10 prospect in the country. I still like Georgia, but I'm not ruling out Ohio State or Alabama. I think Ohio State is right behind Georgia at #2, and then Alabama's running 3rd. I think Georgia is the leader today. I've been saying this for a while. I still think Georgia is going to land him. He's making a decision August 5th and would be another 5-star that commits to Georgia in the secondary. They already have Ellis Robinson, #1 cornerback prospect in the country, top 5 player in the country. He is elite. That dude could probably scratch his knee standing up. That's how long he is. He's got a crazy wingspan. He can run, ball skills, everything. So you've got #1, cornerback, 5-star. You've got multiple other defensive back commitments. And if they can land KJ Bolden, that would just be another just elite, shiny 5-star that they could put in the secondary. At linebacker, they've got DeMarcus Riddick on board. He's a 5-star, right? But Justin Williams, a 5-star linebacker from Texas, is a guy that I also think is trending Georgia's way. His teammate, Joseph Jonah Ajanye, committed to Georgia last week. They're teammates at Oak Ridge High School in Texas. And if Glenn Schumann lands Justin Williams, the #1 linebacker in the country, and keeps DeMarcus Riddick, the #3 linebacker in the country, after the 3 that he just signed in 2023, Troy Ball, CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson, 3 studs. Glenn Schumann, the alpha of all alphas as it relates to college football recruiters. That guy is amazing. I never would have thought they would have gone #1 and #3 at linebacker in the country after what they did in last year's class, but it looks like that could very well happen. Now, DeMarcus Riddick still wouldn't surprise me if he flipped to either Auburn or Alabama. Multiple sources thought that could have happened already. It's going to be a real fight to hold on to him. If he goes somewhere else, Georgia, I think, is going to end up signing 2 inside linebackers in this class. Chris Jones and Chris Cole, 2 linebackers, 2 solid 4-star linebackers from Virginia are two guys to keep an eye on. I think Chris Jones was close to committing to Georgia after his official visit in June. We had a story ready. We had multiple people that said, definitely keep an eye on this. This could very well happen. I don't know if it's because he didn't exactly have the green light to commit, because Justin Williams is an alpha. That's a dog right there. And I know that they feel really good about where they sit between them and Oregon. Oregon needs him more than Georgia does. They don't have a single inside linebacker committed in this class. They took one last year. They are desperate to land Justin Williams. And Georgia, he would just be the cherry on top. They don't need the number one linebacker in the country after what they signed last year. And the guys that are still out there remaining, but I do think that Georgia's training for him. So at linebacker, that's kind of where things sit. I think they're going to take two. If it's Justin Williams and DeMarcus Riddick, Glenn Schumann gets another A+. If DeMarcus Riddick flips, look for Chris Cole, a long athletic linebacker out of Salem High School in Virginia. He's one to know. I think he's an August decision. And then Chris Jones, 6'2", 215. I think he could actually be an outside linebacker at the next level. He's long, athletic, and get after the quarterback. He is a late July, early August guy. So just two guys to keep an eye on at linebacker. Outside linebacker, Jordan Ross out of Vestavia Hills in Birmingham. He's the only one that right now I think could be leaning Georgia's way. I think that's Georgia, Tennessee. I think Oregon is a dark horse there, but he's very quiet about his recruitment, where things stand. But I think Georgia sits in a really good spot for him, and has, before his official visit to Georgia last month. I still think they're in a good spot now. So as far as outside linebacker, edge types, Jordan Ross is the guy to keep an eye on. Now on the defensive line, I'm sorry, I don't want to cough. Oh my gosh, that was awful. Sorry. They've got 5 defensive linemen committed right now. Trey Scott is doing an excellent job. He's going to get another A+ in my opinion in this class. But Williams Nwaneri, number 1 overall defender in the country, top 5 player in the country, number 1 defensive lineman, elite, 6'6", 260, can play him on the edge, can play him inside, can get after the quarterback, can stop the run, can chase down running backs. This guy can do it all. I think On3 has him as the new number 1 player in the country. And I think he is trending Georgia's way as well. He plays football right now in Missouri. Anyone who goes to high school in Missouri, I'm sure wants to get out. Just get out. There's nothing great in Missouri. If you're watching this, you're from the state of Missouri, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. It just is what it is. So I totally get him wanting to leave the state. And another kid from Nigeria, I believe, just freaky athlete, still learning. He's got a lot of growing to do, but his potential is sky high. And I think he's going to be an absolute bully wherever he goes. Right now, I think Georgia leads Missouri and Oklahoma and Tennessee. Took his official visit to Georgia that first weekend in June. Was back last minute, last quick unofficial visit to Georgia right before the dead period. That, sounded the alarms. That's when, everyone said, okay, this is real serious here. I know he was at Georgia early, in the month, but that last trip right before the dead period told everyone, hey, Georgia could absolutely land this kid. I think he's coming down to a decision late July, early August. So he's going to be coming off the board 2.5 weeks. Right now, if he had to make a decision today, I would like Georgia for him. So again, they've got 3 5-stars already on the commit list. 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola, 5-star linebacker DeMarcus Riddick, who they have to hold on to, and 5-star defensive back Ellis Robinson. If they land 5-star KJ Bolden, like I think they will, along with 5-star Justin Williams at linebacker, like I think they will, and 5-star Williams Nwaneri, like I think they will, 6 5-stars in this class, they will run away with the number 1 class in the country. And you're talking about, 5 guys in the top 10 in the country, depending on what outlet you look at. This would be just a crazy class. But again, y'all shouldn't be surprised by this. I've been saying this for a while. Before Dylan Raiola committed, said this is going to be the number 1 class in the country. When he did, we said, watch for the dominoes, offense and defense. This is going to be a massive run. They had a string of commitments in late May, a bunch in June. They've been excellent here so far in the month of July. Would not surprise me if they added 2, maybe 3 more in late July, early August. They're going to come close to 30 commitments in this class. But a few guys to keep an eye on that maybe might look elsewhere. Peyton Woodyard, 4-star safety. I would definitely watch Alabama there. He also took an official visit to Ohio State. Cameron Michael, 4-star defensive back from Statesboro. he's going to make a decision in the fall, I think. And I think Georgia really likes that guy. I don't know if he comes on board only if Peyton Woodyard, flips somewhere else. I don't know, but he is explosive. Played quarterback, little running back, could catch passes at Statesboro, but I think they like him at safety or cornerback as well. He's another versatile guy. Definitely someone to keep an eye on. As far as decommitments go, Dwight Phillips Jr., 4-star running back, I think he's going to stick with Georgia, but when I try to reach out to him about, hey, man, are you 100% committed? Are you looking elsewhere? Are you taking any visits elsewhere this fall? I'm just not hearing a lot from him. And a lot of times these guys know that I cover Georgia. And if they're looking around and I'm asking about it, sometimes they don't want to tell me. So that was kind of something that I noticed. We'll see if one of the offensive linemen wanted to look somewhere else. Right now, I think all 6 of them will sign with Georgia. Just a couple of guys who I think might look elsewhere. But again, if they land those final 3, or maybe a Jordan Ross in addition to that, maybe a Chris Jones at outside linebacker or inside linebacker, and Cameron Michael, if they had Nate Frazier, who could end up as a 5-star as well, maybe they get back in it with Ryan Wingo at wide receiver. I mean, there are still plenty of guys out there that I think the Georgia staff would welcome with open arms. I don't see how they don't get to 30. And if they sign 30 kids and 6 5-stars, they're going to be the number 1 class in the country, and it's not going to be really close. So that's where things stand right now from what I've gathered. Hopefully we'll keep some recruiting news coming. Could be another massive late July, early August for Georgia recruiting. They're doing big things. They always are. But right now, the role that they've been on, especially over the last 6 to 8 weeks, is just incredible. I've been doing this for a long time now, covering Georgia recruiting. This is about as hot as they have ever been on the recruiting show, and that says a lot. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next one coming up right now. Sorry about the cough, and I'll get that under control, and hope to see y'all on the next video.